I've said it before and I'll say it again, the PSP Go is my favourite handheld console of all time, but you can't buy them new anymore. It was discontinued 12 years ago. You keep telling me that they're too expensive, you can't find them in good condition where you are. So what we really need to find on this channel is something you can buy brand new, something you can buy cheap, that's the same size and can play the same games as the PSP Go. Now that is a tall order, but I may just have found something. The Powkiddy V90, terrible name, I know, but it claims to be able to play all the same games as the PSP Go. It's about the same size, if not smaller, and it's cheap and can be bought brand new. So could this be the answer I've been looking for? Could this dethrone the current handheld champion? Let's find out. Let's start by talking about price. £75, second hand, in questionable condition. £35, brand new, and that's it. No extras to purchase. It comes with a micro SD card. So this round is nice and easy. Clearly the winner in terms of price is the V90. It comes with an IPS screen, and just the IPS screen alone that you can buy to replace on the original Game Boy SP is twice the price of this whole unit. So remarkable value for this device. Easy winner, 1 point to the V90. For once we have a device that is actually smaller and lighter than the PSP Go. Although it's smaller, it is thicker, and in my pocket I probably prefer the PSP Go just because it feels more like a mobile phone and this one feels a bit more bulky. Either way, both of them are a very good size and definitely pocketable devices. The V90 charges via USB-C, which means I can use the same charger as I do with my mobile phone. Unfortunately, the 15-year-old Sony device charges with a proprietary connection, which means if I'm on holiday and I lose this cable, then it's goodbye to gaming until I get a new one. Both have a headphone port for wired headphones, but the PSP Go can use wireless Bluetooth headphones. Many people say the ergonomics of the PSP Go are the one thing they don't like. Borrowing the clamshell Game Boy SP design, the V90 is nicer to hold in the hand. The buttons are nice, the plastic's soft. It reminds me a lot of the Nintendo DS, which we talked about last week. I like that it's got a USB-C connection. I like that it protects the screen when you close it. I like how small it is. For this reason, this round on the ergonomics also goes to the V90. Another point. I've said in other videos, the best feature of the PSP Go is that I can open it up, play, and just close it when I want to stop playing, and it will remember where I was when I open it again. I don't even have to save where I was in the game. Now unfortunately, when you close the V90, nothing happens. The device stays on, the screen stays on, it doesn't save anything, it doesn't go into a standby mode. In order to put it into a standby mode, you have to close the emulator you're running, which means you have to save your game. Which also means the next time you play your game, you're gonna have to load from that save point, which may be way before the part you were at in the game. Now, this takes time. Also, if you want to shut it down, that's another menu option you have to go to in the V90. You can't just power it off with the power switch or it'll corrupt your save game, as I found out when I caught a Chansey on Pokemon Red and then lost it forever. So, pick up and play, this isn't a great device, or at least it can't compete with the ability to slide open the PSP Go, slide it closed, and play. So this round goes to the PSP Go. So let's talk about the ability for these two to emulate. The V90 comes with Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, SNES, emulators all the way up to the PS1. For Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, everything works near perfectly. Mega Drive also works quite well, but for SNES games and anything beyond the SNES, things start to get a bit tricky. Some games work well, like Super Mario World, but most have substantial frame drops, and I wouldn't recommend this device for anyone wanting to play SNES games. And PS1 games don't work well either. To my knowledge, there's also no way of playing PSP games on this. SNES emulation on the PSP Go isn't perfect, but I found it works slightly better than on the V90. The PSP can obviously also emulate PS1 games and can play PSP games as well. So this round for emulation has to go to the PSP Go as well. But it's closer than you might think, and if all you're looking to do is play Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games, then there's virtually no difference between the two consoles in terms of emulation. The V90 comes with a 16GB SD card with everything already on it. You don't need to install any emulators, you don't need to download any ROMs, just switch it on and it'll work out of the box with a ton of games. This thing comes with 221 Game Boy games, 100 Game Boy Color games, 110 Game Boy Advance games, 270 SNES games, and loads more. If you're feeling adventurous, you can also put custom firmware on this, install new up-to-date emulators, but none of that is essential. Now, I think the PSP Go is extremely easy to run custom firmware on. You just do it once, you do it at the very start, and then it's there every time you need it. But you do have to download ROMs. You do have to download the emulators. You do have to install them on the device. This thing works out of the box. So, ease of playing ROMs, although there's probably only 1% in it, the edge goes to the V90. So let's talk about the build quality of these two devices. At its price point, the V90 just can't compete with Sony. This thing feels like a toy, and this thing feels like a premium piece of hardware. The hinge on this doesn't snap shut. It just sort of closes. The battery compartment doesn't close fully. The plastic feels a bit cheap. It's really no contest. This round goes to the PSP. The screen is probably the best thing about the V90. It's 3 inches, it's IPS, it's 320 by 240 compared with the 480 by 272 screen on the PSP Go. For such a cheap device, I was blown away at how crisp, clear and bright the screen is. The original Game Boy screen was 10 by 9, the Game Boy Advance screen was 3 by 2, and yet both look great on the 4 by 3 screen of the V90. I can't tell any difference in brightness between the PSP and the V90. Whether you prefer to play an original resolution or 4:3 on the V90 or a stretch widescreen on the PSP, it'll come down to your personal preference. So I have to make this a tie and give a point to both devices. And I'd just like to say I'm extremely surprised to find a device that can match the PSP's quality screen for £30. The V90 has a 1020 mAh battery, which is slightly less than half of the 1800 mAh you'll find on the PSP. I get around 2 hours of battery life on this guy, which isn't great, and slightly less than half of what I get on the PSP Go. The saving grace of the V90 is you can take the battery out. It is hot swappable, and you can find these BL5Cs batteries for about £5 on eBay. Now, replaceable batteries are extremely underrated. I wish more things had them, like my phone, but I'd probably rather have the bigger battery in the first place and not have to worry about swapping batteries around. So bigger battery, better battery life. I have to give the battery round to the PSP. This is a great little device for the money, and I'm blown away by how good it is, brand new for the price, especially in the screen department. Now, it looks like Sony may have snuck this one in the scores, but for me, the PSP Go is still a clear winner. If you can spend the extra cash, it'll be worth it. As well as everything the V90 can do, it has access to PSP and PlayStation 1 games. It can also play SNES games a little bit bigger, better. Has a bigger screen, if you don't mind playing Game Boy games in stretched res. It's better built, has the ability to go in and out of standby effortlessly without having to save your game or close emulators. The V90 is a great device if you don't want to spend the extra money for a PSP Go, or if you want something new instead of something used. I love that it's USB-C. I love that it takes a microSD card. It has a fantastic screen, it's tiny. I don't think there's a better way to play Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance games at this price point, and I'm definitely going to be using this guy. Thank you all for watching. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to take a look at in my next video or anything I've missed in this video. If you want to see more content like this, please check out the other PSP videos and consider joining the 121 people, the 121 legends who are already subscribed to this channel. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.